Before I continue, please like and subscribe if you like the video content you see on here. It helps the channel out immensely, and if you want to donate, please do that. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. I'll put those links in the description so you can get a look at those. So let's continue. In part 10 of the 2024 Canes opponent preview series, I will preview the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, our opponent up in Atlanta on November 9th. Now, what does Coach Brent Key have planned for his second season at his alma mater? Well, Georgia Tech is facing a tough schedule with all FBS opponents having made the postseason last year. Key's team has the potential to achieve great things on offense, but they need to find solutions on defense to stay competitive in the ACC. When I look at Georgia Tech's offense in 2024, their offensive production skyrocketed in 23, and fans are eagerly anticipating a even more impressive performance this year. With key players like Haynes King, Jamal Hayes, Eric Singleton Jr., Malik Rutherford, and Brett Sider returning, along with the coaching staff led by Brent Key, Buster Faulkner, Chris Wenke, and Jeep Wade, the Yellow Jackets are poised for success. They dominated the ACC last year with 203.8 rushing yards per game, thanks in part to Haynes' remarkable performance as the team's first 1,000-yard rusher in years. King's exceptional stats, including 2,842 passing yards and 37 touchdowns, solidified his status as a standout player. With most of their top receivers back in the lineup, Georgia Tech is looking to fill just a couple of key positions to strengthen their offense even further. Now, when I look at Georgia Tech's defense in 24, last year it struggled. It prompted the hiring of 4 new assistants on that side of the ball: Jess Simpson, Kyle Pope, Corey Peoples, and Tyler Santucci. And Santucci is the new defensive coordinator there. He plans to implement a 4-2-5 base defense to address the Jackets' issues, particularly their vulnerability against the run. And they will rely on veterans like Marcus Scott, Kevin Harris, and Zeke Biggers on the defensive front, while Kyle Effort and Trenilvas Tatum will lead the linebacking corps. LaMiles Brooks, Clayton Powell-Lee, and Amari Harvey will provide stability. However, Tech still needs to build depth and find more playmakers across all defensive positions to progress further under Key's leadership. On special teams, Aiden Burr successfully kicked 17 out of 19 field goals and only missed 1 of his 38 extra point attempts. The team also welcomes back veteran punter David Shanahan. And Leary will be handling kickoff returns, and cornerback Rodney Shelley is set to take care of the punt returns. Now, the key to Georgia Tech season is to say, listen, enough with the turnovers already. This Georgia Tech team could potentially outshine the 2023 version, but they need to tighten up their game with a challenging schedule ahead. Why did they lose to Bowling Green? 3 turnovers. How did they struggle at home against Boston College at home? 3 interceptions. Throughout the season, they finished 7-3 with losses to Georgia, Ole Miss, and Louisville when committing 2 or more turnovers, and 0-3 when they gave away the ball at least 3 times. Their biggest gain and loss from the portal was gaining Romello Height. He's a linebacker with the size of a defensive end and the agility of a cornerback, although he faced challenges at Auburn. He displayed potential at USC last year. He tallied 4 sacks and 20 tackles in his sophomore year. Now, given his skills and quickness, he's poised to excel as a pass rusher for Georgia Tech. Though they did lose senior edge rusher Kyle Kennard, he was a consistent contributor for the Yellow Jackets for the past 4 years, racking up 115 tackles and 21.5 of those for loss, which included 12.5 sacks. Last year marked his most impressive season yet, and now he's set to bolster the South Carolina pass rushing lineup. Their key game will be FSU in Dublin on August 24th. Georgia Tech has managed to win 2 of the last 3 games against FSU, but in their last meeting 2 years ago it didn't go so well. If they want to pull off the upset in Dublin against the loaded Noles in the first game of the season, would be the perfect opportunity to do it. They've only beaten 1 FBS team in a season opener since 2016, and that was Florida State in 2020. The season opening win, that was against Boston College. Before that, obviously, it was against BC in Ireland, where they're going again this year. Some fun stats about Georgia Tech in 2023. They struggled with onside kicks, going 0 for 6, while their opponents only attempted 1 and failed. When it came to fumbles, their opponents had 19, 11 of them lost. Georgia Tech 10 fumbles, 4 of them lost. In terms of scoring, Georgia Tech scored 69 points in the first quarter and 136 in the second quarter. This team is poised for improvement, and the fans are buzzing with excitement, with the bar being set high in 2024 after a season that felt like a major breakthrough. Starting the season in Ireland against FSU and ending in Athens against Georgia with Notre Dame in the middle at Mercedes-Benz, that's a tough schedule. You have road games against Louisville, North Carolina, Virginia Tech, and Syracuse, which will all be a challenge, while they get Miami, Duke, and NC State at Bobby Dodd. But that won't be a walk in the park either. The only easy matchups are against Georgia State and VMI. They'll secure victories in those games, fight for 4 wins overall, and pull off a major upset and potentially achieve back-to-back winning seasons for the first time since 2013 and 2014. But it's going to be a very tough road ahead. Now, from a Canes perspective on this game, on this matchup, and on Georgia Tech. Folks, I don't have to tell any of you listening to my voice right now about last year at Hard Rock. We've heard about it for an entire year from everyone in the media, from our rivals on social media. You know the deal there. This year, we go up there, and we need to get payback big time on the Yellow Jackets. And when I look at Tech's schedule, I maybe see 7 wins this year. But I'm going to go, honestly, with 6-6 for Georgia Tech in 2024. In part 11 of the series, I will preview the Wake Forest Demon Deacons.